Okay, we're live.
Nice.
I feel like we have to approve attendees, though. Even though I can't see any.
I have a chat video.
I feel like... Yeah.
Or should they just come on? They should just come on.
Hello. We have one.
Yes.
We have Ms. Kirsten. Sweet.
Anybody else on?
I only see Kirsten. I don't see anybody else yet. I keep refreshing it. Give them a little bit of time to log on.
Kirsten, can you hear us?
If you can hear us, go ahead and type in the chat that you can hear us. Hello, Jennifer.
Yay. Okay, good.
Hello. Oh, boy. Here we go. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Whopping. Why are there two people? What is this one? I don't know.
All right, we'll wait another minute and then we'll get started. Does that sound good?
Perfect.
And again, if you're joining us, just write in the chat that you're here.
Anywhere. I think that's literally videos. I think so too. Yeah. Oh, 3. How? What? I'm seeing 3 people are live. Oh, there we go. Miss Helen. Hello. I think that I'll update first. Yay.
All right, well, let's get started, ladies. You ready?
Absolutely.
Well, I'd first just like to welcome everybody. We're really excited to do this. This is, we're going to be talking about all things college, from things you can study in college regarding the golf business, playing, and also coaching. My name is Ellen, and I am the Director of National Tournaments here at Peggy Kirk Bell. I've been here for a little bit over a year, and I've been in the golf business for a long time, really since I graduated from college. And along with Erika and Ashton, I know a lot about the business. And so coached for about 6 years at UNCG. So hopefully I can help you navigate a little bit of that side of golf if you're interested and your daughter's interested. But overall, we are happy to have you on this call, and please don't be afraid to ask questions, be involved, and just make the most of it.
Want to go?
Sure. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Ashton. I just started here about 2 months ago, so I'm fresh out of college. I'm a tournament coordinator here, and I actually went to school at a smaller D3 college in Wisconsin called Wisconsin Whitewater. So decided to do something completely new, and now here I am in North Carolina. But yeah, so I can give kind of more of like the playing aspect of it, just because I did play all 5 years while I was at school. I got to go to the national championship 3 times, and our team won conference every year. So we kind of give a super fun part of D3 in there too. So I can definitely give some of that playing aspect in there for sure.
And hello, everyone. I have seen most, if not all of you, at events recently. My name is Erika Hallmark, and I've been with the Peggy Kirkbell Golf Tour since 2020. So it's been a little bit of time, but I myself attended Methodist University over in Fayetteville and studied in their professional golf management program that's offered, and as well as been on the team, but I'll provide more of the academic side that you can go through career-wise for golf. But I can go ahead and kick things off with my experience at Methodist and what the PGM program is and what opportunities it has provided since. So I attended Methodist from 2015 till 2019. So, and there I studied the professional golf management program, but you had to have a major in a business degree as well. So I have my bachelor's in business administration.
Erika, can you hear us?
Sorry about that. We just lost our complete Wi-Fi. So that's fun. But anyway, so going back to where the PGM program offers you that classroom viewpoint, or, oh, there we go. Sorry, technology. But anyway, so the classroom feel of the program kind of gives you that same college feel. I mean, you're in college, you're at a university going through this as well. So it's people your age, so you're not just going down with somebody that is maybe twice your age going through the program as well. So you're around a cohort that's your age and understands what you're going through as well. And you learn everything in the industry, tournament operations, which was by far my most favorite thing, but you also learn the teaching aspect. So fundamentals of the golf swing, 3 different levels of that, lots of that, I would say, but also the business aspect of running a golf course itself, cart fleet management, food and beverage side actually as well. So you become a well-rounded PGA professional through this program. And again, as you're graduating with your cohort and other universities at that time, that's going to be pretty much your network as well. And I have friends that have graduated that are now up in New York at some really top clubs, or Florida, Colorado, overseas. They've gone overseas a few times as well. And through the program, you're also doing internships. So instead of just a normal summer vacation, you are required to do internships, and they're paid internships, need I say. The PGA does require them to be paid, which is lovely, but you can go anywhere and everywhere. I've had some of my good friends go to Scotland and do an internship there. You can go to Alaska, which not first thought, but awesome and beautiful. But I myself went to Silverado Resort in Napa, where they host the Fortinet Championship every fall, and that is also home for me, so got to go home. Then I did another internship at the Middle Atlantic PGA section, and then Rangery Country Club was another one, and I finished out my final 7-month internship at Charlotte Country Club here in North Carolina, and kind of just stayed and found PKB, and I've been here since and loving it. So once I knew that the golf industry is what I wanted to do, and going through that professional golf management program, that was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. Ashton, you want to give your experience?
Oh boy. Okay. Should I go golf? Should I go why I'm here? All of the above?
All of the above.
All right. Okay. So we'll start, I guess, like high school. We'll go far back. And so when I was kind of deciding what I wanted to do for college, I knew I wanted to play golf, and then I was kind of deciding if I wanted to do D1, D2, or D3. And I had a little bit of interest in all of them, and eventually decided Division III, but it was kind of a toss-up because there's a lot of benefits to all of them. So like Division I, it seemed really interesting, but for me, I kind of started doing like more tournaments and stuff a little too late. So for me, it was kind of, I didn't really want to play like the lower level Division I. So I decided against that. And then I was then between a Division II school and a Division III. And so how I kind of made that decision, it was really hard, but I think I realized that I really wanted to be successful in Division III and be on a tournament, on a team that would really help me compete, just because I didn't really have that on my high school team too much. So I knew that at Wisconsin Whitewater, that was something that they had been really successful in past years. They had just gotten a new coach in the past 2 years, and she had done such a great job, and I just felt myself like really connect. So I think it's not only about, you know, how the team is and how successful they are, but it's also just about like how you feel you're going to fit into that school, because that was something that was really important for me, is just making sure, you know, maybe like I started as an environmental science major, and I very quickly changed into business. So I had a backup that I was able to do. So just not only focusing on golf, but also focusing on the academic side, just because that's also, you know, that's the main reason that you're going to school in the first place. So I think that was kind of what led me to that. And I had a really great time in college. I was able to get 2 degrees in 5 years, and I was able to play golf the whole time. So that was really awesome. And like I said, we went to the national tournament. We would go to Florida. We'd go to Texas, like for our spring breaks, and do tournaments there. And we just got to do like a lot of really fun competitive things that I didn't really think I could get elsewhere. So it just kind of depends on what level you're at, because there is like a level for everybody. So I think like it's really important for people to realize that, you know, maybe not the best on your high school team or the best at a PKB tournament or something, but that doesn't mean that you can't play in college and like still be competitive. So there is like a place for everybody for sure, which I think is really helpful. But yeah, so, and then over the 2 last summers, I was also working at the Wisconsin PGA Junior Foundation as an intern. And that was what got me into tournament operations. And that was how I got here. So here we are. That's kind of the whole main story of how I made it down here in the first place. So yeah.
Here we go. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about coaching. It's really funny here that I'm listening to you two girls. Looks like we all went to Division III schools to play golf, and some of the same reasons Ashton chose it is the reason I chose it. And in coaching, that's what the first thing I want to tell you guys is that this whole process is all about you. At some point, you are always thinking, oh, I want to go to this school or this school or this school, and will they like me, and this and this. But this is all about you. So I was just going to mention the same thing that Erika and Ashton talked about. Make sure that there are majors there that you want to participate in. Don't sell yourself short on that. Make sure that your education is the most important thing. And if you have a coach who understands that, you are called student athletes for a reason. You're there for school first. Like they also said, make sure that you're in a school that has the size that you want, the location that you want. A lot of people can play different places. And I went to a smaller school. I think all of us did. And you just kind of have to figure out what fits your personality the best. But make sure that you're really advocating for yourself. The third thing I would say is golf dynamics. Whether you're Division 1, 2, or 3, make sure you go and you speak with the coach and you get to spend time with your team. Some teams you will gel with, and there'll be some teams that you don't, and that's okay. You want to find out right away. So even if you're not asked on an official visit, go on an unofficial visit and make sure the coach is there and say, hey, can I have lunch with the team? Can I come out to your practices? I think that's really important to kind of go, make sure you're welcome and make sure you feel comfortable. I think it's also important to know the philosophies of the coach. Coaches are as different as all of you are. So in the way they run their practices, qualifying, just all around personalities. Some coaches are a little bit more type A, some are type B and calm. So you just have to see what fits your personality, because remember, like I said, you're the most important aspect of this. I think some of the things that coaches like to see, like when I was at UNC Greensboro, the only thing I thought about was UNC Greensboro. I didn't think about other places because that's where I was and that's what I was invested in, and I wanted the program to grow. So I think the coaches really like to know that you've done your homework. They want to see that you are as interested in their program as they are interested in their program. So you just want to make sure that you're that you're showing the appropriate amount of interest and you're talking about academics as well. You want to know if you can get into the school academically. There may be some schools that don't require that and the coach can kind of pull strings. But I think it's going to be best for you if you get into a school where you can handle the academics. Coaches want you to know the average score of the team. That's just good information to have because that will kind of see, when I get on this team, can I contribute? Exactly what Ashton says. I don't think from my experience that your goal should be just to get on the team. It depends what you want out of it. But if you want to play competitively and have that type of experience in college, you really want to know where you stand and you really want to make an impact. One thing for parents that always impressed me, of course, when you guys are on unofficial or official visits, you're talking with the coach. It was kind of a red flag for me when the parents did all the talking. I wanted to know all about this player. I wanted to know how they handled themselves. I wanted to know if they could ask questions. I wanted to know that they were interested about the school. I liked parent questions, but I wanted to hear 75% from that player because I was going to get a lot of information from her by just speaking with her. So parents, I would encourage you to kind of back off a little bit. Obviously, any pressing questions, you want to get all your questions answered, but you just want your daughter to do a majority of the talking because she's the one who's going to be spending 4 years there with that coach. Another thing is being proactive. We have Brandy Jackson who kind of helps with recruiting here at PKB. So, to get further into that, she's a great resource. But I always wanted people to be proactive. If you are not getting anything from me and you are interested in my school, reach out to me. Tell me what you've shot. Tell me your interests. Tell me your background. The coach will let you know, either way, whether you might be a good fit for that school. And if you aren't, that's good to know now. Go to some other schools, find some other places for you. But if you're interested in a school, I suggest you reach out to the coach, and you can call them at appropriate times. You can always email them, I believe. But anyway, just being proactive about that. A couple of things I think you need to know about coaches is that they're very busy. And so they want to get back to you, but they may not always get back to you. So again, coming back to being proactive, it is one of the best things that you can do. Coaches do look at your scores. Of course, they look at your rankings, of course. But to tell you the truth, that's not the whole picture. Coaches want a cohesive team. Coaches want good players golfing wise, but also personality wise. They want you to get along with the team. The team is going to do better the closer the team is and the more they work together. So when you're doing all these things, they're looking at withdrawals. Now, I don't think it's as important as a lot of people think, but if they see several withdrawals, they will ask you about them. And, there may be an injury, and that's a possibility. But I would encourage people not to withdraw because they had a bad first round. The importance in that is a coach is not expecting perfection from you. They're expecting you to maybe bounce back, to show what you're made of. It says a lot about your mental game if you can have a hot round and then come back a little bit lower. So the coach knows you make mistakes. So nobody has 4 years of great rounds. That's just impossible. Even the pros have bad rounds. So I would encourage you again to, when you're in a tournament, play all days unless there's a serious injury or illness. And then that way, when coaches call you, you can say, I was really sick. And you can also say things like, and they might comment on it too. Oh, I saw you shot at 84.73. That's terrific. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that that's really important. Golf coaches know what it takes to succeed. They've been probably collegiate golfers, and they've been around the business for a while. So it's important to have trust in your coach and listen to them. And that's something that you can really talk about and find out in the application process of everything. And again, your reputation precedes you, unfortunately. So if you have a great attitude, that's something that coaches are going to pick up on. Coaches are going to talk to other coaches. If you have a bad temper, that's going to get around. If you are not friendly to your competitors, that will get around. All these little things really affect the coach's decision. And it's not always personal. So try not to take it personally if a coach is not interested. Maybe you don't fit the team. Maybe you wouldn't play as much as you think you would. Maybe your personality didn't fit a lot of the personalities on their team. So when you get rejected, a lot of times that is a great thing because you're learning more information about where you want to go and what's going to make you have the best college experience. The last thing I want to say, I know I've kind of been going on for a while, but it's not all about getting a full scholarship. I know a lot of people take pride in that, and I can understand that. You can tell people, I got a full ride to wherever. But that's not the end game. The end game is getting a good academic school graduating with what you're interested in. And also, to be quite honest, I think coaches are afraid at sometimes, at least I was at a mid-major, you have people who come and they get injured maybe in sophomore year. And they need you to, have some incentive. So maybe they'll start you out with 25% or 50% or 75%. And then you can go from there and say, hey, coach, I helped the team a lot. I played really well here. Let's try to negotiate our contract here and how much I can get in scholarship. So don't be upset when you're not offered a full scholarship. It's not the end all be all. I think it also gives you some more drive to get better and better each year. And of course that's important. The coach wants to see that. So those were just, the main things I wanted to get across as far as collegiate golf. But, the big things are it's all about you and it's all about your education. So we would be more than happy to open the floor for some, any comments, any questions, anything that you want to offer. Any way we can help, we'd love to hear from you. You can put it here in the chat if you'd like. And if you have nothing to say, that's okay too. That means we did a great job, right? Okay, we have a speaker here. Yeah, go ahead. Can you hear me? Oh, they raised their hand and then I don't know whether they got disconnected. Well, girls, do you have anything else to add? There's a chat. Good.
Great info, ladies. Thank you.
Good.
I would like to kind of elaborate more on the injury aspect, as I myself was injured as I played for the team at Methodist as well. But I did encounter an injury my freshman year. And I would just like to say it's not the end of the world. You can certainly come back from some injuries. And unfortunately, mine was a little bit more serious than some others. But and that did prevent me from traveling. But I still remained part of the team, as I know some people would maybe not be able to do that. But at a D3 school, we were still able to. And so practicing and still being part of the team environment was very helpful in that recovery process, especially being away from home. So that's a big thing there. And
that's a great point, Erika. And that's the main reason when you think about colleges and where you belong. If something should happen, if I have an injury, if I'm not getting along with the coach, if I'm having problems with my teammates, I still am going to the school that I like and that I can get an education from. And I enjoy being there. So I think that's very, very important. And again, I think that's the first step in everything, just making sure that you are at the right school.
Absolutely. Helen, did you have a question there? You can feel free to type it in the chat, or we can get you approved to speak.
I think we have a quiet group.
I think we do. Oh, let's see. I'll go ahead and accept that. Helen, if you turn on your audio.
Now?
I approved it. Let's see. You should be able to turn on your mic and speak.
Oh, great.
Joined and left. Oh no.
Oh, I thought she said she joined the room.
She left at the same time.
If anybody has any questions, you can always feel free to call the office. You can always email all of us.
Absolutely.
You can find out information on the website and also at tournaments. We're at a majority of the tournaments, all three of us. So
Yes, we are.
you just flag us down, and we'd love to talk about college golf anytime you guys are ready. So
Yeah.
we appreciate everybody being on.
I do want to add one more thing. I would just say, like, kind of to wrap it all up, it is important to know that there's not one right answer for your college decision. It's basically like you could be happy at a lot of different schools. And I think that's important to realize, just because it is, there's thousands and thousands of schools in this country alone. And so it's really hard to narrow that down and know exactly which one's the right one to go to. But I think it's important to know that, like, you can be happy at multiple different schools, and just understanding that is, I think, very important to remember, especially if you have your eye on one certain one. So.
All right. We'll see if Helen is able to get on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're getting it.
Yay.
Girls, while she is writing her question, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What were, if you can't just think of one, what were a couple of your favorite experiences in college?
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I would say a couple. Our team, like, over the past couple years specifically, like, we meshed really well, and it was just like a really, really good environment, and it was just a really fun time to get to travel with them and everything. So I think, like, even things as small as the car rides to going to tournaments, or like whenever we'd come home from, like, if we won conference, like, when we'd come home, we'd have like the trophy sitting in like one of the seats, and we were like jamming out the whole way home. It was just like, it's a core memory, like, it's just a great time. It's so fun. And I think, like, at that moment, just knowing, like, that you have not only like made a difference to these other people, but they have to you. So I think that's, like, really important, because, I mean, for me, one of my teammates is going to be a bridesmaid at my wedding next year. So it's like, you get to know, like, people so well, and you're around them so much that it's important to, have that connection with them, for sure.
Perfect. Looks like we have Ellen's question. So Sophie will start high school after summer. She hopes to be able to play for college golf in the future as a rising freshman, or should we start now? That's a great question.
Yeah, that is. I can start a little bit. I know Sophie, she plays in a lot of tournaments. So I think that's the first step in playing lots of competitive tournaments. I've been out of the college coaching business for a while now, and I am not sure of the contact dates. But that is something that I know you can get from Brandy Jackson. But again, just wherever she is interested, sending things to that coach. I don't want to give false information, but so take this with a grain of salt. But I think you can call coaches. You can call coaches, but coaches can't call you until a certain time. So if you want to talk to the coach, you can always call, the office I think they have to answer. I don't think they can call you back, but that's just another way to get, let coaches know that you're really interested in their program. Playing lots of competitive events. I think it's important to play multi-day tournaments because that's what you're going to be doing in college. And I even think occasionally it's good to play 36-18
Yes.
because you will be doing that in college, and that can be a rough learning curve. So, so play as many tournaments as you want, and try to get in those 2-day tournaments. And like I said, being proactive with the coach. But I think you're definitely doing the right things now, just playing in the PKB and other places.
Absolutely. I would have to agree with Ellen as well. Going back to Ellen's question about what I enjoyed or best moments in college, there was a lot of them. I had a really fun time in college. College was a great opportunity. PGM wise, going that route, I would say the PGA show, as like most of the program would travel down in January to the PGA show in Orlando. And since most of the golf team and tournaments were over spring break, it was kind of like our winter/spring break. So we all had fun. We also met all the other PGM schools down there. So we got to grow our networks there, potentially have interviews for internships down there, as well as most club pros or someone in their area will send parents or will send their staff down as well. So it was a good networking opportunity. But I also was involved in other things outside of golf in college, as like our fellowship program through our PGM program that we would meet every week, or the choir on campus. I was a part of that as well. So I had just so many opportunities to get involved, and I feel like in a smaller school it's easier to do so as well. But I would highly encourage not just staying in golf. If you had other interests, go for it. Why not?
For sure.
We had another question from Helen. She said, can parents call coaches now, or does it have to be the player? Again, I think you can probably look at this online. I'm not sure the dates you can do it, but remember what I said in far as the coach loves to hear from the player. And I do understand that girls are shy, and if she doesn't quite feel comfortable yet, that's okay. She's still in 9th grade. And parents can, of course, call. Of course they can. But I think it carries a little bit more clout when the player does it. And if your player's not ready yet to do that, that's fine too. You can wait until the contact period opens, and then, go from there. I hope that answers your question.
And I would have to say that I do believe it is different depending on which division level as well that you're looking for those dates.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find what they currently are, but I know Brandy Jackson would have all of that information
Yes.
readily and able to share as well.
Yeah, she would love to do that.
Absolutely.
Even though I went to college a long time ago, some of my favorite memories are, like Ashton said, just riding in the van with everybody. But I do have to say that I am still very close to 3 of my teammates. And one of them was in my wedding, and the two others are very close to me. And in fact, one of my college teammates helped me at a PKB event up in Silver Spring. So, it's nice to have those connections, and it's nice to be able to call somebody. I was like, hey, Jane, I need some help. And she loved it, and she just ate it up. So I think it's those friendships you make, which are so important.
Absolutely. I would 100% agree.
I would encourage it for everybody. It's just a great addition to your collegiate experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
perfect.
Oh, that's great. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, you can never start too early.
Absolutely.
It's always helpful.
Well, I just like to thank everybody again. This was fun for me. I hope it was
A blast.
informational to you. And again, just reach out to us if you have any questions.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you
All
at
right.
an event soon.
Of course.
Yes, we will. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.